results by the numbers. I'm a numbers person, and so I just try and figure out what the actual costs are. And so to me, it's clear that we need to create a public option in the healthcare market that then enables us to negotiate for lower prices and higher levels of access. I have a lot of doctor friends. I was going to make an Asian joke there. But they tell me they spend a lot of their time on three things: paperwork, navigating insurance companies, and avoiding being sued. And that if you could get those three things to be a much lower part of their time, then they could have more time to spend with patients, and our care would improve. So a lot of this is around trying to ease up this incredible bureaucracy we've set up around healthcare with this maze of private insurance companies. When we get sick or injured, we're almost more stressed out about navigating the bureaucracy than we are dealing with the injury or sickness. Am I right? And there's no reason for that to be the case. My parents are back in Taiwan, and it blew their mind the first time they actually started using the healthcare system there. Anyone saw this experience? They were like, they couldn't believe it. They were like, it was like fast, seamless, inexpensive, and the rest of it. And then they come back to the U.S. and they used to think that the U.S. would be where they'd want to actually utilize the healthcare system, but now they're having a change of heart.
Who should dictate prices?
Well, the problem right now is the government's not even trying to negotiate lower prices in many, many instances. And so if you had a public option that you could negotiate prices on behalf of the American people, that it would be the government.
The government, not the market.
Well, but I'm not someone that's trying to get rid of private insurance. And so in many ways, the goal is that you have a public option that can outcompete the marketplace. And so if the public option can demonstrably improve upon what's available in the marketplace, then what does that do? That actually introduces competitive pressures. So that, have you all noticed that your healthcare insurance costs always just go in one direction? Do you remember getting that bill and being like, oh, it went down 15%? That has never happened. And so that's their revenue model. Their revenue model is we're just going to ratchet up the costs every year. So if there was a public option that actually helped keep costs in check, then you'd start seeing some more competitive pressures in the marketplace.
And you're not alone in this platform for Medicare for All or for your healthcare plan. How is yours different from, let's say, other candidates who are also vying for essentially the same thing, but how is your way to get there a little bit different?
So my plan is very similar to Pete Buttigieg's and some of the other candidates that are not quite in the single-payer Medicare for All, get rid of private insurance camp, which I believe is Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and maybe one other. So I think that you need a public option, but you need to try and outcompete private insurers. I think there are maybe half a dozen candidates who have similar plans.
You're President Yang. Hurricane Dorian comes up the East Coast. How do you handle that national emergency?
Well, I keep my Sharpies in my desk. Right now, FEMA is a part of the Department of Homeland Security, which to me is not the right way to go because literally they diverted funds from FEMA to ICE recently. And if anything, you have to have FEMA be standalone, so it has its own resources and priorities, and then you need to make sure it has the resources it needs independently, because we know with climate change that these hurricanes and storms and floods and disasters will be much more commonplace. So number one is you separate FEMA into its own agency, which it is. It's already its own agency, but it's part of Homeland Security, the umbrella. So you change that. And then the big thing that we have to do is try and make our communities more resilient before the Hurricane Dorian's strike. This country has become far too reactive, where essentially we have to wait until something breaks or goes dramatically wrong, and then everyone yells about it, and then you go in, and it's much more expensive. Mm-hmm. There have been some situations where we've literally repaired the same home dozens of times, which I would suggest probably is not the most efficient way to go. So we need to try and get in front of these disasters, but certainly when Dorian strikes, we need to have the resources in place and the agency themselves.
But President Yang, I want to understand here your ability to handle crisis management. What we
decide to play weatherman and like fly.
I don't know if you want to do that, but you get my question, right?
Well, that is the question. You know, to me, if I thought that my presence were helpful and not disruptive, then I'd 100% go to where the storm was hitting. Though I think in many cases, frankly, that becomes a little bit more of a media narrative than genuinely helpful to people on the ground.
On the question of climate change, climate change and natural disaster, I think you've already said once that with the climate change is already in motion, there's certain things we can't stop. There's a certain level of sea rise.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for the realism. It's also a little bit depressing. But given that you've already talked about that we have to be proactive, take certain kinds of measures, that there's going to be a certain level of sea level rise, and we're dealing with an API community that includes Pacific Islanders in places like Hawaii, Guam, American Samoa, where they may not be very happy to hear that you're simply written them off. What then, if in fact we are going to confront sea level rise, how are you as a president going to address these communities that are going to be affected by this?
How many of you all saw the last debate in Detroit? So if you remember, I think got the new third position on climate change. Position one is we have to fight climate change. Position number two is climate change is a hoax. And then the new third position is it's worse than you think. And we need to take dramatic action, not just to reduce the bad, but also trying to increase the good. So I'm the opposite of the person that thinks we should write off people in Guam or Puerto Rico. We have to do much, much more and own up to the fact that our climate is changing irreversibly and that sea level rise is unfortunately going to be with us even if the United States were to dramatically change its ways. The United States only accounts for 15% of global emissions. So even if we were somehow to go miraculously to zero in 12 years, the Earth would likely still continue to warm. So I just came out with a 5-point plan that includes moving towards renewable sources of energy, exporting those technologies to other parts of the world, because right now Africa's taking power plants from China that burn coal. And they're excited about it because they just need energy. They don't really care about what's going on in terms of climate change. So we need to try and change their incentives. We need to reverse some of the damage we're doing by reforesting tracts of land, by trying to reseed parts of the ocean with plankton and other things that will resuscitate those ecosystems. But the fourth big thing to your point, Viet, is we need to move our people to higher ground, both literally and figuratively, which means investing in the infrastructure of these communities. But in some cases, it may mean, and if you think I'm being overly dramatic, we have already relocated climate refugees in Louisiana that were in a part of the state that became uninhabitable, and then we moved them. So if you think that that's not where we are, we're there now. And we need to be doing more of those things rather than letting our people, frankly, get swept out to sea.
And you talked about, or you identified yourself kind of with Barack Obama, Jimmy Carter saying they came out of nowhere. There seems to be, and apologies I'm butchering it, but sort of like a model to that. I feel like there's a lot of press talk about the negatives of being an outsider. No one knew who you were. But what are kind of the advantages to it? What are the benefits that you were seeing after being on the campaign trail for so long?
Right now, the number one